Good evening, football fans. Couple more days and it's Super Bowl. You are live with Morgan Holder, third down. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Holder with third down, Morgan Holder.
So just so y'all know, Holder is currently working back over in Washington, the state of Washington that is. So he is with us via phone.
Via phone.
Via phone. So
via cell phone.
So if he steps away, he's gonna let us know with whatever he says, and then yeah. So Holder,
send your shouts out, man, so I can send my wonderful shout.
You already know who my shout outs is. It's been the same ones forever.
Those shout outs change all the time.
They've been the same since forever. First Take, okay. Undisputed, and Mike and Mike.
Undisputed, you took off.
Oh my God, that was one show because of what Skip Bayless said.
Changed.
One time. I want to give a shout out to First Take, Undisputed, and Mike.
Big mistake, but anyway, the real shows of the pivot. Ryan Clark, Super Bowl safety. Ryan Clark. Up close and personal with all of the athletes. Get up with Greeny and speak for yourself, my man Acho and Joy Taylor.
Nobody cares about Ryan Clark, by the way. Just want you to know that right now. Not even a little bit.
Well, he'll be in the Hall of Fame. Whatever you say.
I'm just saying no one cares about him.
I mean, there's only, 2 Vikings in the Hall of Fame?
Shut up, Holder. You know what? You got jokes today. Huh, big guy? I'm just curious, before we get the show started, how was Washington? Is it cold in the state of Washington? Do you like it?
Well, how was Washington? I'm still in Washington. It's cold. There's no snow, but actually it's warmed up today. It's almost 45.
I mean, I'm just saying, you left the state of Kentucky, moved to Texas, and you said, I'm done with the cold, and you went to Washington to work. Beyond me. Anywho, Holder.
Money is priority.
I guess.
And you know that to be true in the NFL and
that
your
true.
Current employment situation.
That is true. I love what I do. Can't complain.
I know you do.
So, Holder.
Talk to me about my status. And money isn't a good reason to be in the cold.
I love the cold weather. You should know that.
Yeah, I know. We don't want to talk about your white beater and 0 degrees of weather.
So, Holder, we're going to start the show off because I'm done with you. Man, can you actually believe that the season's almost over with? We have one more game.
Yes, thank God. Thank God the season is almost over with.
Are you saying that because Pittsburgh was terrible this year?
No, I'm saying that because I can't wait to see what they're going to be like next year.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Or shall I say next season?
I guess. I mean, it's been a good year for the most part. I never thought in a million years it would come down to Philly and Kansas City. I would not even thought about that. Not even a little bit, but here we are. One game away from the season finale. And it's 2 teams that I never predicted to be in the Super Bowl this year. So, I can't take nothing away from them.
Well, we already know about your predictions, so.
Oh, shut up. And the Chargers had a good team. Injuries happen. We ain't going to talk about Minnesota with Kirk Cousins at quarterback with his. Anyways.
That's a mental injury.
Godly. I don't want to talk about it right now. But
that's a mental injury.
We did our picks last week. Holder, has anything changed with you? Are you still keeping Kansas City?
Of course. Why would I choose an NFC team?
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you want a little bit. You want a little bit. So I'm just going to ask you. You can change it before the show ends. So if you want to change it, go for it. I'm sticking with Philadelphia.
Imagine the Atlantic Ocean and you're in a punt, right? A little fishing boat without a paddle, okay? And you can see the storm coming. That's where you are right now with me and your suggestions for me changing my picks, okay?
So it's like
you're in the middle of nowhere.
So it's almost like Titanic sinking again. So what you're saying?
No, more like Castaway.
Okay. And Holder, are you gonna watch the halftime show, or are you gonna watch the game and change the channel? I mean, what?
I never watched the halftime show. I never watched pre-game shows. I'm all about the game itself.
Okay, I'm there with you, man. I'm not too big or too crazy on halftime show. Once it comes on, I'm doing something else until the game comes back on. I want to see action. I don't want to see people singing or anything like that. I don't know. It's not entertaining.
I don't know. It's for the young folks.
You know,
it's for the teenagers.
You know, something else that wasn't entertaining, was kind of a disappointment to me, was that god awful Pro Bowl. That was very disappointment.
Morgan, I'm sorry you watched it. I watched the preview, the
Highlights.
The highlights. And I was not impressed.
The only thing that impressed me was when Diggs threw an interception to his brother. That was impressive. I
was not impressed. That was a disaster.
And the whole skill, and the whole skills thing. I mean, you thought it would be like a quarterback throwing a ball, and you know, in some kind of like pocket, or a running back hitting some holes, but it wasn't even that. It was like golf, and it was something stupid. It was like, this don't even pertain to football.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that stuff.
I
don't watch.
Like, so next year I'm not going to watch it. I was not impressed. I was not impressed at all. I was kind of disappointed in it. I mean,
yeah, it was
coming from an era where we seen the Pro Bowl as devastating hits, like Sean Taylor taking out the punter. I mean, those days. I know the generation below us might not remember those, but that's something that I like. I know now you're trying to take into.
Then the Pro Bowl showcased why these guys were all pros.
Exactly. Like the quarterback from Baltimore, what's his name? Huntley. He threw 2 touchdowns this whole season, and he made the Pro Bowl. That is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But you know, it's a different league now, so.
Right. Definitely. I mean, I just don't understand, like, what made them. I take that back. I do know what made them do this, and it's just irritating.
What are you doing, man? Are you watching Kill Bill or something?
No, I'm not watching Kill Bill. That was my wife's phone going off. It's on the charger. I didn't know. My bad. That was my wife's charger. It was going off, and I didn't know she had it on charger. I was trying to shut it off. But,
you know, Morgan, there's never a moment where you derail, okay?
I came upstairs thinking everything was going to be good, no distractions, and here it is, the phone going off.
You're that person where the storm cloud, it follows you around everywhere you go. That's you.
I guess so.
Everywhere else is sunny, but it's raining over you, you
know? Oh, God. But, no, back to what I was saying, because you distracted me. Just like that phone distracted everybody else. I do apologize. Anywho, back to what I was talking about the Pro Bowl. It's... I know, and I'm trying to say this nicely, and I want to be cautious of what I say, because I don't want to take something out of content and people get upset. I know with the injuries going on with Tua, the injuries that happened with Drew Bledsoe back in the day, I get it. I know the NFL is trying to be cautious of the injuries. I mean, I know they don't want nobody to get hurt during the Pro Bowl because it's going to mess up next year. I get it, but let these guys get physical. Like, that's what football is about. showcasing your talent, your skills, your skill position. I miss that. I really do.
Well, you know,
And Holder, I know you're a little bit older than me. Actually, you're quite much older than me. I know that you've seen different Pro Bowl types than what I'm used to. And you, tell me if I'm wrong.
yeah, the Sean Taylor Pro Bowl you saw was just the tail end of what I was accustomed to. It was the same thing. Very physical. Now, a lot of, as the Pro Bowl progressed through the years, you know, some guys, they would just grab a guy and they would call him down, right?
Right.
Before it went to this flag football malarkey. So the Pro Bowls prior to this, they were just grabbing and holding on, and they weren't really dropping people. So it just went from good to bad to worse.
Right. I mean,
Right? So,
like, don't get me
you
wrong.
coming into the kitchen and you're like, oh my, what's for dinner? There's a pot on the stove, it's boiling, it's got the lid on it. And you raise the lid and it's just boiling water. And you're like, what is this? That's the Pro Bowl.
I'm hoping. I'm
I'm
hoping next year the Pro Bowl skills is different than this year. Again, it didn't pertain to anything in football related. It was them hitting golf balls, them doing tack-tack-toe, I think hangman or some shit like that. Dodgeball. I mean, make it more realistically about football, because that's, to me, that's like PE stuff. That's stuff you go to high school and you're like, hey, physical education, PE class. Oh, I can't wait, because guess what? We're hitting golf balls. No. Okay, for example, I know it's different, a different league and a different sport. But NBA, when they do the NBA All-Star, it's the point guards or guards throwing balls. The NFL should have been like that.
Unfortunately, Morgan, we don't control the NFL.
I wish I did.
I think as we go through more years to come, it's going to get softer and softer. So I don't look for any changes to get better to a more physical or even football-related skills challenges. This is just like a carnival to them, right?
I mean, you remember, but you remember in high school, running back drills. You know, they got those. Oh man, not the dummies. Like the padded shields, or what do you want to call them? Like they got those, and they're hitting running backs. Boom, like that's what they should have did, or a lineman skill, something like that. Almost like the NFL draft or combine draft, like something like that. Something similar to football than hitting golf balls, dodgeball, tic tac toe.
Well, I mean, that's the stuff they do in practice,
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
Stuff. I think they should just play football. Like back in the day, the quarterbacks threw to see who had the strongest arm. They threw to see who was the most accurate. The fastest wide receivers or players would have a 100-yard dash.
Oh, we know who's going to win that.
Like that.
We knew who was going to win that. That happened. We know who's going to win that. My boy JJ was going to win the 100-yard dash.
Mr. Trubisky was going to win that.
Who?
Mr. Trubisky. He's going to win the 100-yard dash.
Who? I promise there is no owl. There is no owl in my room. It's me saying who.
I know what you were saying, but
Mitch Trubisky is a statue,
JJ
like Kirk Cousins.
The fastest man in the NFL.
No, they say that Tyreek Hill is, but I don't see that. I don't see that at all.
Tyreek Hill got beat by some kid on the street.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't see how Tyreek is the fastest in the NFL. They call him the cheetah. The cheetah. Man, it's not even that quick.
Well, who's running down? Have you seen anybody running down?
I seen DK run down a defensive back and hit him. I don't know what's up with it.
Have you seen anybody run down Tyreek Hill?
That's what I'm saying. The defensive backs might be kind of slow because DK caught up with the defensive back, so So I'm saying, I don't know.
You know what? DK Metcalf, for some reason, can't catch defensive backs when they intercept the ball.
I knew he was going to say that.
Fast either.
I knew he was going to say that. Oh, man.
And he's a physical specimen. You're not worried about him getting hurt tackling somebody.
You know, DK is probably one of the biggest receivers I've seen since Megatron. Strong, but he plays like a girl. Because you are right. You are right. It's like he don't go up and try to catch the ball when it's being interception or almost intercepted. He just lets it happen. Like you're a big dude. Take that little guy down.
See those guys. Here's the thing about some of those guys. They get their payday,
and that's all they want. That's all they want.
They're not superstardom anymore. You know, they did what they had to do to get the big check, and then they start to slack off. I think more players now are about their fantasy points and things like that. Madden.
Yeah, the Madden ratings and you're right. You're right. Let me ask you a question. Speaking since we're on a subject of wide receivers, AJ Green is retiring. Do you say first time ballot, or you say a bust?
Oh man, that's hard. That's hard to say because AJ Green was good. I don't think he was spectacular. But he was dependable. You know what I mean? He was dependable, but he wasn't like a Chad Johnson, right? Chad Johnson could run these nice routes, perfect routes. He was fast. You know, AJ Green was more of a possession type of guy, and he could win the 50-50 balls. He might make the Hall of Fame, but I don't think he should.
I think he will, just because
if he does, good for him.
I think he will because he was a multi-time Pro Bowler, so I think that I honestly think that will have something to do with it. But I'm not going to say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He might get in there 3 to 4 years after everybody else.
He'll probably be 60 when he gets in.
Close to it, because you got to think this draft class coming up is with him and Crybaby and some other ones. It's going to be tough, really tough.
You know. They're in the NFL. They're supposed to be, these high talented players, and I'll give them that. But when they get to that level, it's like because they're playing with equals, right? You're talking about defense, and you're talking about going up against these DBs and things like that. Not only that, catching passes over the middle. So there's a lot that goes into. I've seen what's his face, the guy said he was better than Jerry Rice. He played for Frisco.
T.O. Terrell Owens is dumbass.
But yeah, I see him alligator arms, when he thought he was going to get knocked the hell out. He reached out and then he pulled his arms back into his body to miss pass intentionally.
Oh, that happened multiple times with this dumbass.
The true guys, for me, the true Hall of Famers are the guys that sacrifice, right?
Definitely.
They're going to take the hit. They're going to go in there and do whatever they can to help win the game. Those are Pro Bowlers and Hall of Famers to me.
Yeah, any more is it's a number game, right? That's what it is. Or you got 1,000 yards with 2 touchdowns. Doesn't matter. You got 1,000 yards. You're a Pro Bowl. That's the kind of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a numbers game, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't.
The game has changed a lot, but like I said, I don't take anything away from AJ Green. He's beat the Steelers quite a few times, but
no, nothing against him. I mean, I like AJ, but I just think with him retiring at the same time as some other ones have retired already, I don't see him going in the Hall of Fame with those same guys that he retired with this year. I mean, but I guess we'll find out what in 2026. I guess we'll find out.
It'll be a while. He probably won't get in until 2030 something.
He probably won't get in. Yeah, I mean, he's in his what?
I mean, because there's guys from back in the day that they're still waiting to get in.
That's true. That is
had
true.
Good numbers too.
That is true.
So the list gets longer. You know, the only guys that are really getting in on first ballot are the guys that played either a long time and stacked up yards or
because I don't even
tackles, whatever.
I don't even think Drew Brees is in it yet, and he should be in there. He's going to be a full first ballot.
He just retired.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. He's going to be a first ballot with AJ.
No,
you don't think so? I think he will.
No, I mean, yeah, he'll be a first.
But AJ Green, no, and nothing
when
knocking.
When Brees left the league,
he was number one in like a lot of stats.
Passing yardage.
Oh, definitely.
He had the highest passing yardage. I don't remember what they were, but he surpassed everybody. And I think that's why Brady stayed in and played
another 2 years,
so he could surpass Brees. You know, because Brady, oh God, I want to be known for everything.
Right. I mean,
but yeah, Drew Brees will get in first ballot.
I don't want people to think I'm knocking AJ Green. 'Cause I'm not knocking AJ Green. He just hasn't done things that Drew Brees has done, or some other ones.
Two, AJ Green has had a lot of injuries.
It's true. That is true.
So that itself can play a role because the best trait that a player can have is their availability. If they show up to games, play hurt, you know, help the team win, you know, when you do that, you're increasing your numbers anyway. So he wasn't available a lot. So people kind of forgot about him because he was always hurt.
You're right. Especially, and now he's in Arizona. I forgot he even still played in the league. I forgot he played. This is the second year in Arizona. I forgot he was even over there. So yeah, I mean, people do. And Kyler Murray, I mean, he's a good quarterback.
What's
so
the guy that was in Atlanta? Morgan, the wide receiver, the big dude.
Julio Jones, or
he went to the Titans.
Julio Jones.
Yeah, Julio was. His name was all over the place, and then when you start getting hurt,
oh yeah, it drifts. What? Keyshawn Johnson was another one. He was a big name thrown out there for a while, and he got hurt, and he went downhill. Keyshawn wasn't a crybaby.
I never liked him. He was a crybaby. He was a crybaby all the time.
Everybody's a crybaby that didn't play for Pittsburgh.
Give me the ball.
Because he was.
You know why Parcells got rid of him? Because he was crying about Wayne Corbett getting all the passes, and Wayne Corbett was more of a position receiver. But every time you threw Corbett the ball, he caught it. Keyshawn dropped passes.
Keyshawn dropped him. You know why he didn't want to be in New York? He wanted to be gone. He didn't want to play for the Jets.
The Jets were good back then.
They was okay.
I'm sorry to say if they sucked, okay, but they were pretty good.
It was okay. I mean, he went to Tampa Bay and got a Super Bowl ring, so I can't complain.
I know you don't remember because you were still holding on to tables trying to strengthen your legs and walk.
You're an ass.
But you were too young to know any better. You had the rattle and the big set of keys that you would stick in your mouth.
Man, hold on. Time out. No. Because when Keyshawn came in the league, I was definitely able to walk, run, crawl, all that. And I was eating human food. I wasn't eating that nasty, mushy baby food.
Baby food is human food.
It's nasty.
Some adults eat baby food. Are you kidding me?
I am not one of those adults. Do you eat baby food? Ew. You know what else is good for you?
I'm not going to tell you what I eat on the air.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You know what else is good for you, though?
What?
Aaron Rodgers might be out of Green Bay. That is the best thing since candy corn, and I hate candy corn. But
I love candy corn. Are you kidding?
That's why I said that. I said people like candy corn, but me. But I mean, do you think he could be Holder? That's the question. Do you think he could be on the move?
I don't know. I don't care, but I wish he would retire.
I knew you was going to say that. I knew you
as
was
a
going to say
Green Bay
that.
Packer because I don't like players that go to other teams and then go back and retire from the team that they came from.
Yeah.
You know, if the team is done with you, and when the team is done with you, that should be telling you something. So you shouldn't go to any other team.
So do you? Okay. So
you're a cap casualty for one.
I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said for a second, and I'm not trying to change subject, but I'm gonna ask you something. Derek Carr, if Las Vegas is going to trade him, do you think he should just go ahead and retire? That's pretty much what you're saying.
No, Derek Carr sucks.
Okay.
Okay, there's a difference.
I'm not going to
being with a team for 10, 12, 13 years, and Carr couldn't win the big game.
I don't think Carr sucks.
Hence, who else?
I don't think Carr sucks.
Those guys, those quarterbacks are not making the Hall of Fame.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you something. I'll get back on Aaron Rodgers. Give me Derek Carr from Minnesota, and I'll be happy because I believe that he can take that team to the playoffs and win.
The only way he can take that team to the playoff and win is if Flores shores up that defense.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit because I can't wait. We're gonna talk about Brian Flores in a little bit. Oh, I can't wait.
That's the only way I think Carr can lead Minnesota to the playoffs.
Oh man, Minnesota has too many whippings over there. But back to Aaron Rodgers. So, did you hear anything about Aaron Rodgers, like the Pro Bowl wise, what was going on?
No.
All right,
After
so
the championship game, I tuned myself out until Super Bowl time comes back.
All right, well, so Aaron Rodgers gets off. He's walking in Las Vegas, and they're chanting his name, and he's smiling big. So that's the opportunity of saying, "Hey, we want you to come to Las Vegas," and I think it's what's soaking in, right? People was jumping on that ship, and that's why Derek Carr now is on his way out because they feel like they got a good chance of getting Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not saying go to Las Vegas, but it's a big possibility. With that being said,
are you serious?
Yes, I am. With that,
do you remember that whole hype about Mike Tomlin winking at Aaron Rodgers at one game? And they were saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is going to Pittsburgh."
Well, hold on. I'm not done.
What's going on with Tomlin and Rodgers?
I'm not done. Let me finish.
Come on, dude.
So, anyways, Adams, his wide receiver used to play with him in Green Bay, pretty much made a comment of, "Hey, I want you on my team again. To get us running back." That's what and to me, that's what it means. Aaron Rodgers is gonna go to Las Vegas if it happens.
I don't think so.
Now,
he has no pull to bring in that kind of player for the amount of money.
but here's the thing,
Aaron
though.
is going to want.
Aaron Rodgers said he would take a pay cut.
Yeah, okay.
So,
You're talking about Aaron Rodgers.
yes. But Rodgers also made a comment, I think it was yesterday. It might be today. Today, I can't remember. I have to go back and read it. But he said he's going to, sit back, think about his future, and he's going to go from there. Either A, he's going to retire, or he's going to ask to be traded. One of the two.
He said that last year.
So after the Super Bowl,
And he came back to Green Bay.
after the Super Bowl is when we're going to find out is Rodgers done. I think Rodgers should be done. He reminds me of a Brett Favre. Like when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Like you've been in the league for what, 20 plus years?
No.
No.
Pump your brakes.
All right.
Because Brett Favre actually retired.
Oh, and came back. Okay.
And came back.
He did a crybaby move. I get it.
Rodgers' chance to be the starting quarterback. See, Aaron hasn't officially done anything.
No, but that's true. That is true. But he needs to go ahead and just call it quits. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame anyways.
I don't think so. Yeah, he should call it quits. I think he has the numbers, right? He's got his Super Bowl.
He won, by the way. But yes, he has.
I didn't put an S on the end of that.
I know. I'm letting the fans and subscribers know he has one.
But everybody that knows football knows who Aaron Rodgers is.
Definitely.
Right? So he's an established player. He's a Hall of Famer. That's
hands down he is.
But I mean, if he goes to another team, it could either be a good thing or it could be a disaster.
I think it might be disaster, especially if it goes to Las Vegas, because didn't Adams leave because of Rodgers at first in Green Bay?
He left because Rodgers was thinking about leaving.
Okay, then. So why would you bring him over to Las Vegas and you already know he's done, like his career's almost at the ends. Like he's maybe a year, one more year and he's done. Why would you do that to yourself? Go ahead and rebuild.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what's in the minds of NFL players anymore. There's a big difference between players back in my time and players today. So I just enjoy the game as it is. The personal decisions that they make, it doesn't faze me any way possible, other than if it was a Pittsburgh player that decided to do something like AB when he did that stupid stuff, and at least we got what we got out of him before we let him go.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, AB was, and here's the thing I don't like, that AB had all the talent and he threw it away.
Oh, and you know what? He was the leading receiver. He wasn't tall. He wasn't big.
He was quick.
Right. And he was leading receivers in yards and catches every year. Except his rookie year. His rookie year and his second year.
Right.
But, who knows what his future could have been. Well, I know what it could have been like. Because he made cover of Madden.
He had a big old head.
So, but it's just, I just let the off-season play out as it is. That gives us a lot of content to talk about next season.
Oh, definitely. But before we get off the subject of off-season, Derek Carr. I texted you yesterday and told you that he's going to be talking to New Orleans. Do you think that's a good move for him? Because it's not a Super Bowl contender. They're not. Do you think that's a good move, or do you think he should go to a contender team?
Derek Carr. You know what? I think Derek Carr, for me, had one good season. And that was the year he broke his foot.
Hold on. You talking about Derek Carr had one good season? No.
One great season. Let me put it that way.
No.
One great season. He didn't have more than one great season. The other seasons were good, not great. Derek Carr was one game away from the Super Bowl, and he got hurt.
I remember that.
1 game away from the championship.
I remember that.
And he got hurt, and he hasn't been the same since.
I mean, he's in his 30s, but we're gonna go.
I think the injury.
We're gonna go to his stats.
Oh God, you're not gonna do this.
You know I love stats. You're
not gonna do this.
So you said you said one great year, right?
One great year.
Do you want to take that back?
No. I've watched that boy play.
Ever since he's been in the NFL. Ever since he's been in the NFL since 2014. He's thrown over 3,000 yard passing. Over 3,000 yards. Over 20 touchdowns. And he's hitting on point of 60%, if not better, since he's been in the NFL. And he thinks he's had one good year? You should take that back.
You think he's going to make the Hall of Fame?
Yes. That's a big yes.
No.
Again, I will take Derek Carr over Kirk Cousins any day. Any day.
I would take
for his career.
The young Manning. I would take him over Kirk Cousins.
I'm not gonna go that far because we don't know how good he's gonna be. But for the career that altogether, Derek Carr is.
Manning.
It doesn't matter what Manning is. I don't like Eli. Okay, I didn't like Eli. Peyton Manning was okay.
I don't like Eli.
But what I'm saying is Derek Carr for his whole career, Derek Carr has had completions of 64.6%. And you're trying to say he's not good. Not to mention, he's over 200 yards touchdowns, and he's only at 90 plus yards interception. That's it.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Stats Morgan.
Go for it, boss.
After they lost the game to Pittsburgh, see, I don't know if you do what I do. I go on YouTube and look at reactions.
I don't even look at reactions. I look at stats. Stats tells me everything I need to know about a person.
They said he has got to go. He can't win the big game, right?
But you can't blame it on him, though. It's not just him.
It's been proven through the years.
It's not just him. You cannot just put it on one guy. You got the defense. You got the coaches. You got the play calling. You have receivers. You cannot just put it on one guy.
He has had talent in Oakland. He was with the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying.
He's had talent.
But you can't just put it on one guy. There's the play calling. You have the coaching. You have defense. You can't just put it on him. You cannot put it. Again, these stats don't lie. He's had over 3,000 yards passing since he's been in the NFL.
He's not going to the.
He's going to go.
Hall of Fame.
He's going to go.
I'll roll over in my grave if he does.
He's going to go.
But
He's going to the Hall of Fame. No ends up buts.
He's
He's
not
going
going.
to. Yes, Derek Carr's going to go to Hall. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what you say.
he's not going.
Yes,
Can't
he
win
is.
the big game.
He's going to go.
You can't win the big game.
It doesn't matter about big game. There is plenty
He
of.
couldn't even win a game
Damn it. Look,
to get them into the playoffs. He couldn't even win that game.
Dan Marino. Not Dan Marino. Yeah, Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame. You have Steve Young, Joe Montana. Yes, I get that. But you have other
Correct me
guys.
if I'm wrong.
What?
Dan Marino did go to the Super Bowl.
What I'm saying is, though, I'm about to. Let me finish. Besides those guys, you have multiple Hall of Famers that did not win the big game.
No, they won big games to get to the big game.
Again, give me Derek Carr, and I'm going to tell you what Minnesota's going to do. Minnesota's going to the playoffs. They're going to win. That's all there is
Not
to
with
it.
that defense.
Excuse me?
Not with that defense.
Oh, yes. With that, I can't wait to talk about this topic. Yes, with that defense, now we would win. And I can't wait to talk about the topic. I can go on all day about Derek Carr.
Next topic,
I can get
so we can get to that topic.
so, Mr.
Again, I'll listen to you cry.
Oh, whatever. I'm not gonna cry. I'm just throwing stuff out there and you can't even catch it. You're like, holy shit, he's doing this way too fast. Anywho,
Yeah, I want to play catch, not frisbee, buddy.
Joe Mixon, like, I get that they're gonna drop charges, but what he did was wrong. You can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. You can't just do that to somebody and think you get away with it. Like, yes, they're gonna drop charges on him, but what makes these NFL players, or athletes, I should say, think it's okay to do that?
Well, see, what you're doing, Morgan, is you're putting these players on a pedestal. And a lot of these players, just like movie stars or whatever, they're people like us, like you and me. They just got a higher pay bracket.
Well, I'm not putting them on a pedestal. I'm just saying, with you being an athlete and you're supposed to be a role model for young kids, like you know what to say, you know what not to say, or your actions. You know what I mean?
A lot of athletes say, I'm not a role model.
Yeah, it's
A lot
true.
of athletes say that. Now, the role models are the ones that have these charities and do all these things for these kids. Those kids are looking up to them. If you're doing like a once a year thing, getting kids winter clothes and stuff like that, that's not a role model.
Minus
The other guys that are like
Adam Thielen.
Joe Mixon wasn't up for the Walter Payton Manor Award, right? He wasn't even nominated.
That's true.
So those guys that are going for that Walter Payton Manor Award, those are role models.
Like Adam Thielen, for example. Adam Thielen.
Those are role models.
Yes, he is. J.J. Watt.
I mean, you think about all the all-star players that have been busted trying to sell drugs,
Deion
or
Sanders.
have possession of drugs,
Michael
on them,
Irvin.
and all these other things. These are
Michael
guys
Irvin.
that come from a bad environment growing up, and they can't seem to let it go.
I don't.
right?
When people think about it, I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think money means everything, and I think they believe, oh, I have all this money, I can pay my way out of trouble. And so I'm not going to say it was the environment. I believe it's money.
Really, a lot of these guys grew up in the hood,
I'm just saying.
and the reason they wanted to go to the NFL was to get out of the hood.
I know plenty
Right?
of players.
Their parents moved out of the hood and all this other stuff.
I know plenty of players.
Family.
I know plenty of players that was in the hood that's in the league, and
look at Michael Vick.
They're not like Michael Vick's a different top. That's a different guy. He didn't look. I'm gonna tell you something. That was his brother. Okay, he took the charges. That's all he did. He didn't do that.
Here's what I'm saying: is Michael Vick hung out with the guys he grew up with, right? And he knew what kind of guys they were, but they were his friends. Right? A lot of guys move out of the area that they grow up in, and they got these nice houses and this, that, and the other to get away from that, because growing up in the hood is nothing to glorify, right?
You're right.
So these guys get caught up in the game, not the game of football, but in the game they were so-called accustomed to growing up. They just can't leave it alone. I'm not saying they're in it 100%, but they could, they feel like they still have that and they can go back and do a little bit of it. Like we had Bam Morris, man. That dude was good, a good running back. But he got caught trying to sell cocaine.
Michael Irvin got in trouble for
the world at your feet. You got the world at your feet.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying there's multiple people in the league or any professional athlete that was that they're not trying to go back. They don't want that on them.
But you know what? Depending on Mixon's situation, we don't know what transpired between the two people.
That's true.
The other person made a threat at him too.
That's true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The charges are going to be dropped, and it's like a slap on the wrist. I get it. Maybe the NFL should step up. Maybe fine him. Maybe suspend him 2 or 3 games. I don't know, because it's like the NFL ain't doing nothing. Just like the Deshaun Watson whole thing. Like we know he did that, but you're going to suspend him for what?
It took a while to convince you that he did.
Shut up! It did take a while. It did take a while, but he did that, and look how long it took the NFL to suspend him or do anything, right? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
Since we're talking about the AFC, I don't know. I know you probably seen it. If not, I'm gonna tell you. Mason Rudolph is done in Pittsburgh finally. How do you feel?
No, I did not see that. This is news to me.
I was reading on it. Pittsburgh has decided not to sign him after he's going to be a free agent coming this offseason.
Well, they did that with Edmonds too, but look, they brought him back.
Well, from my understanding, Tomlin don't want him back. He said he's sticking with Mitch Trubisky as a second string quarterback, and as Pickett, the front runner. He said if they have to, they would draft a running quarterback or they would sign one. But he said as of right now, Mason Rudolph is done in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I feel good about that. I would have felt better if both him and Trubisky were gone, because Trubisky is a $10 million cap hit for us.
And it's a big possibility that y'all could trade Trubisky still. I think there's like a deadline, but I'm pretty sure y'all going to beat that deadline. I think y'all can trade him. To what team, I don't know. Hopefully he gets team that he gets hammered and breaks the leg or something. I don't know. I don't like Trubisky, but
so I'm going to ask you this. You always ask me, where do you feel like what's his face? Where is he going to go?
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
Man, it's hard. He's going to be a backup no matter where he goes.
Is he going to be? He's not going to be a starter.
No, I'm afraid to say
Is
no.
that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I don't see it. He's not that good. I can see him maybe maybe on the practice squad of Houston, practice squad of Carolina, maybe the practice squad of the Jets. I mean, shoot.
Practice squad.
Yeah, practice squad. That's why I see him at. Unless the Colts get a hair on their ass and they be like, hey, we want to sign Mason Rudolph. He's going to be our starter. But I don't see that happening. I don't see Rudolph starting for any team unless somebody gets hurt.
Well, I don't see him starting, but I don't see him on a practice squad.
I do for a little bit, at least for a couple weeks. At least for a couple weeks.
Really? So you think Mason Rudolph can give a starting defense a look of Lamar Jackson?
No.
Before a game to practice for the week?
No.
Mason Rudolph.
But where I'm getting at, what I'm getting at though, when I say practice squad, because
that's for you.
Yeah, exactly. But no, most
I don't like the guy either.
But most likely he's gonna be. Most likely he would be a second string. I'm not gonna say third, but definitely a second string. Again, like I said, the Colts might get a hair up their tail and be like, "Hey, we want to sign him. He's gonna be our starter." I don't know. I don't think he should start though.
I don't think the Colts would. The Colts.
The Colts are doing. The Colts have done stuff in the past. They got Phillip Rivers. They got Matt Ryan. They've done stupid stuff in the past. Why not do something stupider? And they also got Carson Wentz. So.
Yeah, I did see. I'm thinking they learned from those mistakes and move on. Either get a rookie QB, because there's some QBs coming out this year.
You know what wouldn't hurt the coach to do is maybe scout some of the second string quarterbacks. Not Mason Rudolph though. But yeah, when I seen that,
badly you beat, maybe I could see like what's his name? The guy in Baltimore,
Huntley. I can see him starting somewhere.
He's young.
I can see him starting. Maybe.
I can see him starting in I can see him starting in Indianapolis.
But if Lamar Jackson leaves, I think he's going to stay in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
But yeah, when I seen that Mason Rudolph news, I'm like, man, I should send this to Holder. I'm like, no, you know what? I'm going to wait. Because if I send it to him, you might be like, I already know that. Why would you tell me? So I'm like, talk about it on the show then.
Yeah, the last time I checked, we only made one move and we re-signed. What is his name? Our cornerback. Oh God, I'm so old, dude. I can't remember these names anymore. But they re-signed one of the cornerbacks, and that was that was 2 days ago.
Holy, okay.
So I didn't. This Mason Rudolph thing is.
It's new to you,
new to me. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you because I don't like Mason Rudolph. But you know what? I'm also excited for the next topic we're about to get on. And Holder, I know what you're going to say. Who cares? Who cares? I care. The Minnesota Viking fan cares. We got Brian Flores, one of the best defensive coordinators. We got him. I mean, what you should care. I mean, y'all's defense was pretty good last year. Like under Flores last year.
If our defense was pretty good, he would have straightened out. But
hey, I'm about to tell you right now some stats, and you're going to tell me that I'm a lie because stats are blah blah blah. Look, you ready for this? Pittsburgh.
I know about his stats in Miami.
No. This was.
I know about his stats in Pittsburgh.
What's the stats in Pittsburgh then?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
He's gone. He wasn't. He was a positional coach. Okay.
Pittsburgh's opponents.
He had input on a lot of things.
Pittsburgh had the league's 6th lowest completion percentage on the floors. 60.
Okay, and what does that mean?
That means it's good.
Flores was not the defensive coordinator. He was a linebacker.
He was a guidance, but it doesn't matter.
Coach.
I'm just telling you what it is. As well, Alex Highsmith, he had 14.5 sacks. He was the 6th most in the NFL and he tied for the league lead with five forced fumbles.
Highsmith was an outside linebacker under Gerald Osofsky.
It does not matter.
His coach.
Oh, see, I'm giving you stats. I'm giving you stats.
He was his coach.
I'm giving you stats, and you're like trying to put me off. Stats ain't gonna lie.
I'm telling you, Flores was a positional coach.
It doesn't matter.
He coached the inside linebacker.
It doesn't matter.
And I'm not taking anything away from him for what he did in Miami, what they won the last 7 games when he was there.
Yep.
I get it.
Well, with Miami, they actually had a winning season.
We got it. As a matter of fact, I thought that Tomlin was going to retire and give Flores the keys to the car.
That's what I thought. And also, check this out. You ready for this? He also helped Pro Bowl outside linebacker T.J. Watt. And you can tell me, oh, T.J.'s this, but you cannot say that Brian Flores.
So you telling me T.J. Watt wasn't any good when Flores?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, with Brian Flores there, he made them unstoppable.
Dude, we were hurting because we had injuries. Flores had nothing.
Oh, here you go.
Big of an impact.
Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out this coming year.
Dude, when T.J. Watt came back, that's when the defense improved. The middle linebacker, Miles Jack, was hurt.
I'm just telling you the stats.
I'm just saying.
I'm a stats guy.
We'll see what he can do in Minnesota.
Absolutely. I mean, he's going to bring that man-to-man defense. Patrick Peterson's going to be gone because he can't do that no more. Good. I'm glad. Maybe Harrison Smith might
do that in Minnesota.
We got some young, talented defensive backs. We got some. We don't know if they're playing a zone or pretty much a zone defense, and they got ate up with the sorry guy we had. Shoot.
That's true.
But I'm telling you, like we're going to change things around, and oh my God, I can't wait. Like Kevin O'Connell was on point. Now we got a decent defensive coordinator. I'm happy. I'm excited. I can't wait till next year. I can't wait. I don't care what we do in the offseason. I'm happy.
It's going to be that soon of an impact.
Definitely.
Coming season.
Look what Kevin O'Connell did his first year. And I don't care what anybody says. That's the Vikings had. That was the worst team with being 13-4. No, let me tell you something. Having Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, having so many injuries, sorry defensive coordinator, we was on point. I don't care what anybody says. We was going somewhere.
Dude, they said the same thing about Stefanski in Cleveland. Okay, he turned the team around, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But yet, they won no Super Bowl.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now. Give Minnesota 2 years, we're going to have a championship.
I will go with 2 years. 2 years sounds reasonable.
I'm not saying next year. I'm saying 2 years.
Detroit in the fold.
It doesn't matter about Detroit because again we got one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. One of the best. This man was a head coach. He was coach under. I'm not gonna mention his name, but he got Super Bowl rings.
Morgan.
What?
So you're telling me Detroit is not motivated?
Look, Minnesota is gonna come out hungry.
With the draft
no.
Get better with the draft.
Nope.
So
negative.
So Minnesota wins the division next year.
Yes, hands down. Yes.
You heard it, fans. You heard it first here. I disagree, but
you can disagree all you want. You can disagree all you want. I cannot. I'm excited for next year. I'm excited. I can't wait because I know what they're going to. They did things this year that people couldn't believe they did. Now we have a amazing defensive coordinator.
You didn't take your Prozac today, did you?
I don't take Prozac, you dick.
Did you just say that on my show? Did you just say that on my show? I apologize to all our listeners
shoot, man.
for Morgan's profanity and disrespect
So,
those that have children that listen to us as well.
the kids say worse than the things I do.
Oh, don't blame it on the kids.
So you really don't believe that Minnesota's going to be good next year? Is that what you're telling me?
They're going to win the division.
You said the same thing this year. You said it wasn't going to win. What happened? They won.
I told you that if they made the playoffs, they wouldn't win.
Shut up. Shut up.
One and done.
You are a bad. You're just. You're bad luck. You're a bad luck.
Morgan.
What?
If they don't beat teams by more than 3 points in the regular season, they're not going to win the playoff game.
Next year's to be different. Our defense is coming on fire. We're getting our young defensive back. Kane, he's coming back. He was hurt. He's coming back. I can't wait.
I just got one thing to say to you.
What?
4th and 8.
Shut up. Man, that's old. That's past. That's in the past. Let it go.
4th and 8.
If the Vikings fans can let it go, I can let it go. You should let it go.
4th and 8.
You should let it go.
You and your stats on Kirk Cousins.
You know, speaking of stats of Kirk Cousins,
4th and 8.
you know his stats was better than Dante Culpepper's in the playoff. Did you know that?
I think Dante Culpepper went to the NFC Championship.
I'm just saying, stats don't lie. Kirk Cousins has the better stats.
Did Dante Culpepper go to the championship and lose to Philly?
I plead the fifth on that. But I'm just saying, stat-wise, I love stats. And I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins has a better playoff record than Dante Culpepper.
Oh, so you're saying he went to the NFC Championship?
I'm just saying, stats don't lie.
Well, okay. Well, where were the stats on 4th and 8?
Shut up, Holder. That is old news. That was like in the past. That's
you keep throwing up these numbers.
That's in the past, man. That's in the. You know what?
You really need those.
Since you want to bring up 4th and 8, where was your team at when Minnesota was in the playoffs? What was your team at? Oh yeah, that's right. That was at home watching.
I was right because of Mitchell Trubisky.
Blame on Mitch. Blame Mitch. All you want.
Yeah.
But we know it wasn't just Mitch. We know it was a defensive coordinator as well. Or offensive coordinator. I'm sorry. It was Matt Canada as well. My bad.
All right. Well, I got a timeout.
So timeout is he's taking care of some business. I think his boss stepped in the room. So while he's in timeout, folks, I'm excited for Brian Flores. I'm hoping everybody else is a Viking fan. I hope you guys are excited. I can't wait. Big things are going to happen in Minnesota. I know Harrison Smith's been there for years. I know Adam Thielen's been there for years. But I feel like we should trade both of them guys, get some assets, some young assets, and see what we can do. The talk is Patrick Peterson maybe be gone because of the man-to-man defense that Brian Flores is going to bring in. I'm hoping that Patrick Peterson is going to be gone. I like Patrick Peterson. Nothing against Patrick Peterson.
Patrick Peterson is going to be gone. Are you serious?
I believe he will be.
He's gone.
I mean,
I was watching the NFL Network, and he'll be gone this year.
I'm hoping so, but
he's a cap casualty.
I'm hoping he's going to be gone because we got some young talent over there. But like I was explaining to the audience before you came back on,
I heard you.
Was that Harrison Smith?
I heard you talking about Brian Flores. Gee.
Oh, well, I'm just saying Adam Thielen and Harrison Smith's been there for years. I love both of them. Both of them has done good things in Minnesota, but it's time to let them go. Trade them for young assets. Rebuild. Because you have Justin Jefferson over there. You got Dalvin Cook. Rebuild that team. Even if you don't want to rebuild with Dalvin Cook, trade him, keep Alexander. Keep him. It's going to be a good run. With that being said, guys, I'm sorry that I keep on rambling, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I haven't got any. Oh, you know what? Yes, I did. Holder, we didn't do this at the beginning of the show, and I apologize. It was my fault. So I was reached out by a friend of mine. We play online gaming and whatnot. he's a big Minnesota Viking fan as well. Actually,
Well, that don't count.
it does count. Any stats guy like me. He said what we're doing, what me and you are doing, is inspiring him to do his own. And I just want to say I appreciate that. I love that. I love that I inspire you to do something that you want to do. It makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. So, fans, subscribers, I want to know your feedback. Let me know how you guys feel about the show. I know we got to get some things worked out for next year. We're working on that. Maybe some better equipment. I like to be my dream, and like I told the guy that said I inspired him. My dream was to work for ESPN. That was my dream job. Now, I wouldn't mind doing my own show like I'm doing now, but getting paid for it. Maybe through the NFL, through an NFL team. I mean, Holder, is that what you said you like? Is that your agreement? I mean, I know you're a little bit older than me, but how would you feel about doing that?
I just love football.
And how would you?
Football.
How do you feel about him saying that we inspire him?
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. You want to inspire people to do things, to follow in your footsteps. Because even if he's successful, you know, he could say, you know, my inspiration was the Morgan Holder show. You know, no, that's good. That's the thing. It's unfortunate that he's a Minnesota fan.
Oh, I'm glad he is.
But I mean, kudos to him, and I'm glad that he's one of our listeners.
Oh, definitely, man.
And I definitely wish him the best. If he's going to pursue that, then yeah, go for it.
I mean, I got to give him a shout out, man, because like he just had a new addition. Him and his wife just had a new kid. Congratulations. And I hope you are listening to the show. Again, big ups, man. Big ups. Again, subscribers, listeners, and man, give us feedback. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how we're doing, what we should talk about, what you want to hear. I like that. You can send that to Third Down with Morgan Holder. That's 3RD down with Morgan Holder at gmail.com. Or you can get on our YouTube page. It's Third Down with Morgan Holder. It's 3RD down with Morgan Holder. Also, I made a Twitter page. Look for that. Third Down with Morgan Holder. It's 3RD down with Morgan Holder. As well as our Facebook page. Again, that's Third Down with Morgan Holder. 3RD down with Morgan Holder. Tell us, send some comments, man. Give us a feedback for the show. And the Super Bowl's coming up. Give us a feedback for the Super Bowl. Because next week after Super Bowl, I'll have a big conversation on everybody's topic. So please chime in. I would love that. With that being said, guys, another show has come to an end, and I'm sorry. I do apologize. I wish I keep on going. But don't let fourth down get you.
Oh, my goodness. You just rambled on, and I lost my train of thought because I was going to say something about something you said, and now my dementia has kicked in.
Old age.
So I'm going to say, yeah, it's been a interesting season with one game left to play, and tune in next week so we can talk about the Super Bowl events and the game. And I like to say, stay penalty free, and we will look forward to having you with us